The South National Water Authority Act was created, quote, to operate in the service area presently operated by a private utility in the southern portion of Nassau County, end quote. It justifies its legislation by saying, quote, a variety of factors have led to the cost of water for ratepayers spiraling out of control. Water is a necessity of life, which should be managed responsibly and affordably. A public takeover would provide greatly reduced costs for ratepayers. This legislation would enable a public takeover of areas serviced by New York American Water within the town of Hempstead, end quote. That was over a year ago, and yet it has not held one single public meeting to date. You let the ball drop again. There is no reason why the Water Authority has not reached an agreement with Liberty. If it had done its job, we would be looking at a substantial savings in our water bill and not a 42% rate hike. And then you unconscionably rewarded your appointed commissioners for doing nothing. Water Commissioner Laura Ryder was appointed to replace D'Esposito, and Commissioner Joe Baker is now a candidate for Nassau County Legislature. Apparently, as commissioners, they dutifully did nothing but make sure the town continues to get taxes from Liberty's ratepayers to the tune of over $12 million a year. Taxes that residents with municipal water do not pay. You claim outrage that Liberty is raising its rates. We warned you that the rates would skyrocket once the 2-year freeze was over. You knew this was going to happen.
Mrs. Borecky, we were on record opposing the 42% rate hike. We're on record with the Public Service Commission. We don't have the authority to stop that. They're still overseen by the State Senate. And as you know, the North Shore Water Authority was awarded $1 million in financing for 5,000 residents. The South Shore Water Authority was given nothing by the governor for 110,000 residents. Now, the equivalent would be $22 million. Now, we have no funding. This is not in our purview. Right now, the authority is, I'm sure, trying to go over the assets of what it costs, do their due diligence. Because, yes, I agree, too, the water is too high. The New York State broke this water company. They provided no funding, and we'll be able to...
Excuse me.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so the ratepayers have been paying for over 100 years millions of dollars that the other people don't pay. Take this $12 million that we're paying this year alone and use that. You know, it was never written into the act that the state was supposed to fund that. That's something that you guys made up. It's never happened before.
So you're okay with the North Shore for 5,000?
I was not okay with that. I was not okay with that.
But the 110,000 residents got nothing. You're okay with
I am not okay with that, and I actually fought for that, and I petitioned Governor Hochul for that. I understand that it didn't occur, but that's besides the point. It was never written into the act, which you are mandated to follow, that it would be funded by the state. That was never part of the South National Water Authority. So you have not met for over a year. And Laura Ryder now is a council person, and I assume you're appointing Ella Stevens for being the replacement. But let me get back to what I'm saying. All right. You can't blame Liberty for raising its rates. Its purpose is to ensure that the shareholders profit. Your job is to protect your constituents. Your neglect and your... And I'm going to finish this because I have to answer your question.
Thank you.
No, I'm going to finish.
No, you finish.
I am going to finish.
You interrupted her.
Mr. Borecky, you can submit your comments and we'll make them part of the record.
I am going to submit not only that, but my letters to you to hold the meetings. Okay, back to the Water Authority. Okay, you claim outrage that Liberty is raising its rates. We warned you that the rates would skyrocket once the 2-year freeze was over. You knew this was going to happen. It happened after Aqua bought New York Water and after American Water bought Aqua. This is nothing new. You can't blame Liberty for raising its rates. Its purpose is to ensure that the shareholders profit. Your job is to protect your constituents. Your neglect and your commissioner's failure to hold public meetings and negotiate acquisition of Liberty Water is the reason our water rates are going up. But apparently you don't care. so long as you continue to get your $12 million reward every year from Liberty ratepayers, your constituents. That $12 million that town of Hempstead alone gets every year that other residents benefit from, goes into the general fund, it builds roads and everything else, they don't have to pay the tax for it, and we do. So court wrote you in December of 21 and asked that the town appoint knowledgeable, capable, independent, non-political commissioners. I cannot think of anyone more political than Ella Stevens. She has thrown her community under the bus before at her party's request. Once when she recommended cell towers on a temple, and again when she wrote a letter recommending a strip club in Wantor. Courts feels that she is appointed for the sole purpose of doing the town's bidding and will not work in the best interest of the people. Courts opposes the appointment of Ella Stevens. And going back to when Karini said, oh, by the way, Long Island Clean Air, Water and Soil asked to meet with him on this border when he first got elected, and he refused, saying that he's going to do whatever the town board tells him to do. That basically was his response. I can show you that email. I can show you the email. But anyway, my point is that you say that the state's not giving you money. Ratepayers for the last 100 years have been paying taxes that people that have public water do not pay. We pay you $12 million this year alone, take $1 million of it, and then do the work that you need to do. And by the way, the way the Water Act is written, there's nowhere does it say that you are to get funding. So it's like you're applying for something that they don't really, it's not written into law. The law is mandated. And Laura Wright should know this because she is a commissioner. I don't know, is Ella Stevens replacing Laura or Joe Baker? Answer that question?
It's authentic. Why can't we answer the question?
Who is she replacing? You're appointing a new person to the commissioner. One has to resign. Who's resigning? Laura Ryder, who is the council person now? Or Joe Baker, who's running for legislator?
It's a valid question. Answer her.
Councilperson Ryder has already resigned. There are 2 vacancies on the Water Authority board, and one is being filled today.
Joe Baker resigned too well? Who else resigned?
Mr. Baker has also resigned as well.
Oh my God, you guys are so political.
Read them right there.
Unbelievable.